Mom, did you stuff vacation pamphlets into our mailbox again? I don't see any reason for you to be upset, dear. I simply thought that they would come in handy while you two plan your honeymoon, that's all. You completely filled our mailbox with them. Please stop doing that. The mailman constantly has to ring our doorbell to give us our mail because he can't fit it in the mailbox. I'd rather you stop giving us those pamphlets altogether, but could you at least just set them on the front doorstep instead? I was only trying to be helpful. Regardless of your intentions, it's getting out of hand. Am I clear? Don't put them in our mailbox anymore. That reminds me, have you decided on a destination for your honeymoon yet? We're still thinking about it. Why do you ask? What? You mean you haven't decided yet? But it's been 6 months since your wedding. Yeah, well, Sam and I are both busy with work and our schedules are pretty hard to coordinate, so... Oh, and that wedding. Even after I went to the trouble of planning a beautiful wedding for the two of you from top to bottom, you didn't use any of my ideas. I was so shocked. Weddings are for the bride and groom, Mom, not their parents. We planned our wedding the way we wanted. That's normal. Not to mention the wedding you planned was unbelievably extravagant. A $30,000 dress? $500 per plate at the reception? Who do you think we are, the Kardashians? You could have taken out a loan. Plenty of couples do that these days. I am not going to spend so much on a wedding that we're never going to be able to afford to buy a house, Mom. Look, we've been through all of this before, and I'm tired of having this conversation. I need to get back to work now. Since you were insensitive enough to disregard my wedding plans, I expect you to at least take my honeymoon plan into account, understand? My travel sense is impeccable. A vacation planned by me is worth more than money. This is our honeymoon, so we will plan it in the way we want to. End of discussion. Nonsense! You said yourself that you haven't decided on anything yet. It's clearly far too much for you to handle by yourselves. Listen, dear, a honeymoon is an important step for a new couple. It sets the mood for the rest of your marriage, creates memories that will last a lifetime. But you still haven't even decided on a location, much less transportation and lodging. Is this how you want your marriage to start, with indecision and procrastination? We're starting our marriage with thoughtful planning and deep discussion between the two of us, but thanks for your concern. We'll take a look at the pamphlets you gave us, okay? Is that enough to satisfy you? We'll see. Let me know when you've finalized your plans. I'll let you know whether or not they're up to snuff. Frankly, I'm not interested in your opinion. Excuse me? Like I said, I need to get back to work. Goodbye.
Hey, Sally. I just made it to the hotel fine and got checked in.
Thanks for letting me know, Sam. I hope you enjoy your business trip. I'll do my best. Travel's nice, but when it's for business, meh. By the way, I just realized that my mom sent me a text. She said you complained about her stuffing our mailbox with a bunch of travel pamphlets again.
Don't tell me she was getting on your case about our honeymoon again.
Yeah, she was. She took it to a new level this time, too. It looked like that mailbox was about to burst at the seams from all those pamphlets.
Unreal. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
I took a look at them, thinking maybe there might be a chance that one of them might be interesting, but they're all guided tours with a private guide who goes with us everywhere. Why would we want a third wheel on our honeymoon?
That reminds me. My dad told me before that my mum had booked that exact same kind of tour for their honeymoon. Dad said it completely destroyed the mood. The two of them never had any privacy at all, with the guide constantly with them, at restaurants, parks, stores, etc. But it sounded like Mum enjoyed it, at least.
You think that's why she's pushing it on us? Because she had such a good time with it?
Yeah, probably. For her part, it's not like we've told her what sort of honeymoon we had in mind. But then again, even if we did tell her, I'm sure she had just managed to find a way to barge in on us. So it's probably best we just keep her completely in the dark.
It's crazy that you're so comfortable talking about your own mother like that.
Hey, it's the truth. Just the way my mum is. She's always been. Once she gets an idea in her head about something, she has to inject herself into it, even if it has absolutely nothing to do with her. That's why I never told her about, well, you-know-what.
Ah, that. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't spill the beans to her about that. But are you sure you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I talked to my dad who knows all about it, and he gave me his blessing to keep it between us, so yeah. Let's just continue to do that.
Okay, well, as long as you're okay with it. Hello there, Sally. Today's the big day, isn't it? I bet you're so excited. I know I am. Huh? What should I be excited about? Oh, come now, dear. Are you still going to keep the act up? I know you were trying your best to keep me out of the loop, but you've underestimated me. I know everything. Mom, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, well, you can go ahead and be that way. It doesn't change the fact that I know everything. Could you please stop talking like that and just tell me what you think it is I should be excited about? I'll see you soon. Sally, where are you? You need to come and pick me up from the airport. I'm waiting. What? What do you mean, the airport? Where are you? Okinawa! Where else? Okinawa? You mean in Japan? Which hotel will we be staying at? I hope you picked the one I recommended. The buffet breakfast looked phenomenal. You're not making any sense. Come on, Sally. I just arrived in Okinawa, so tell me where the hotel is. Seriously now, dear, get with the picture. Exactly what picture am I supposed to get with, Mom? Why are you in Okinawa? And why are you suddenly expecting me to come to pick you up from the airport and take you to a hotel? Did I miss something? I don't remember you ever talking about a vacation to Japan. My goodness, Sally, you never give up. I know your honeymoon in Okinawa starts today. What? I heard Sam talking to his father about going to the Blue Cave on your honeymoon. When I looked it up on the internet, I figured out that you were going to the Blue Cave in Okinawa, Japan. After that, I looked at their texts on his cell phone and figured out all the dates and times for your flights. I'm a real Sherlock Holmes, aren't I? Did you really go through your husband's phone without his permission? We've been married for 40 years, dear, so what if I did? But enough about that. Let's talk about our plans. So we're going snorkeling in the Blue Cave, then? Ugh, you really have terrible taste. I made a deliberate effort to remove any tours with snorkeling from the pamphlets I gave you, but you went and signed up for it anyway. I thought you had learned your lesson about listening to my recommendations after that disaster of a wedding you planned by yourselves. It's clear you need the help of a travel expert. That's why I decided that I would tag along with you on your honeymoon to help you enjoy yourselves on your trip to Okinawa. And as your official guide, I hereby declare that your silly little snorkeling thing is cancelled. Mom. But we can talk more about that later. Hurry up and come pick me up from the airport. Mom, we're in Hokkaido right now. What? Why? I guess maybe you're not familiar with Japanese geography, but there's more than one place called Blue Cave in Japan. There's one in Okinawa, yeah, but there's also one in Hokkaido, too. There is? Hokkaido? Isn't that far to the north? You're going snorkeling in that freezing cold water? No, we're on a cruise. A cruise? Sam and I actually already went to the Blue Cave in Okinawa with a group of our friends back when we were in college. We loved Japan so much that we figured we'd go again for our honeymoon. And when we learned there was another Blue Cave, we figured we'd go there. So, you're in Hokkaido? Yep. And not in Okinawa? Nope. I don't believe this. Now I'm going to have to get a ticket to Hokkaido. No, Mom. We'll already have moved on to a different location by the time you get here, so don't waste your time or money. What? Hokkaido is a pretty big place, actually, and we're on an extended tour taking us around most of the island, making brief stops at major tourism spots. Just brief stops? That won't be any fun. But we're enjoying ourselves plenty, thank you. But the best part is yet to come. We're going on a train tour that circles the island so we can see all the scenery from the train window. You what? How could just riding a train be fun? You can ride a train at home. Meh, to each their own. Everyone has their own tastes, different things they enjoy. We don't like the same things you like, Mom, that's all. Sally, dear, how dare you? I offered to plan your honeymoon for you out of the kindness of my heart, and this is how you repay me? As long as we're on the subject, Sam has something he'd like to talk to you about, so I'll hand the conversation over to him now. Sam? But why?
Mum?
Yes, Sam?
I thought you should know that we moved.
You moved?
After our honeymoon is over, we're going to go straight to our new house.
How could you? You've got some nerve dropping something like this on me so suddenly. How many times do I have to tell you? You must consult with me before making major decisions like that. Unbelievable. You always did love causing me trouble, however. I am still your mother, and I must fulfill my motherly duties. Don't worry, I'll come over to your new house to properly arrange your furniture and that sort of thing. What's the address of your new house?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me?
And by the way, even if you somehow manage to figure out where our new house is, you're not welcome. So don't even think about coming.
What? What? But why? You need me to fix your house for you, don't you?
No, I don't.
Don't be ridiculous.
I don't need you forcing your opinions on me in every aspect of my life, Mum. Didn't Sally just tell you? Everyone has different tastes. We don't like the same things you like.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Being helpful would be offering a recommendation when we ask for one, and I wouldn't have any problem with that. But if we don't do everything exactly the way you want us to, down to a T, then you go completely hysterical. Haven't you noticed that all your friends have abandoned you one by one? Do you hang out with anyone other than Dad?
That's nonsense. They haven't abandoned me.
Oh, for the love of... Don't tell me you didn't even notice. Surely you can't be that oblivious. Do you have any idea the damage you've caused other people with your behaviour? Don't you remember what happened with Cynthia a few years ago? She almost got divorced because of you.
What are you talking about?
Good grief. I don't believe you. The rumour about her having an affair? You heard one woman say she thought she saw Cynthia meeting with another man at a restaurant, and you took the liberty of telling her husband that she was cheating on him.
What was I supposed to do? Let him be cuckolded?
How about that time with my friend from high school? We went to the bowling alley after school one time, and so we smelled like smoke because, well, it was a bowling alley. And what did you do? You went over to his parents' house and lectured them for an hour about how they needed to teach him that smoking was bad for your health.
Oh, now you expect me to let a young boy die of lung cancer, do you?
And that's just the beginning. There's way more instances than that. Do you have any idea how many friends I lost because of you?
Imagine how many you'd lose to cancer if their parents let them smoke.
But I'm not even as concerned about myself as I am about Dad. He constantly has to clean up after your messes.
Ha! That man couldn't even clean a living room without me.
Every single time you make a fool of yourself and cause massive problems for people, who's the one that has to go and apologise and beg them not to sue you for harassment? Dad. I would know. Ever since I became an adult, I've been going with him for those apologies. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of you.
Sam, you can't talk to me like that. Everything I've ever done has been to help you, to help the people around me. I was just being a good neighbour and friend.
You have a bizarre understanding of what help means, Mum. You've done nothing but cause chaos for me and everyone else in your life.
You ungrateful little brat.
This conversation is over. You're not welcome to come to our new house. Even if you should show up on our doorstep, we will not open the door, we will not let you in. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even want any sort of contact from you at all.
You can't do this.
I can, and I will.
Oh, you obstinate child. Anyway, now that I know you're in Hokkaido, I'll do you the favor of looking up some proper tourism destinations.
Even after all that, you're still not listening.
No, you're the one who's not listening to my advice.
Ugh, I'm so sick of this. Just don't bother us on our honeymoon. Got it? Go home. Now. Goodbye.
My mother-in-law took a flight home the next day. However, when she arrived home, she walked inside to find a stack of divorce papers sitting on the kitchen table. I had heard that her husband was considering divorcing her, and I guess he saw this as the perfect timing to finally do it. He never contacted her again and had a lawyer handle all the divorce proceedings. He's now living on his own in a nice apartment near our new house. I've got to say, he seems to be doing better than I've ever seen him before now. He looks like someone who's just had a good stretch after a long nap. It's like he's a brand new man. As for my mother-in-law, she moved in with her younger brother and his wife for a while. But before long, she started to give her particular brand of advice to her brother's wife, which was, obviously, not received very well by either her brother or his wife. He was, to put it simply, furious. He kicked her out of his house not but a month after she moved in. The last I heard, she was living alone, very alone, in a small apartment in the city's outskirts.
Hey, Jill, were you able to go out with a really good-looking and well-off man?
Emmy? I was just thinking it's been such a long time since we last talked, but you seem to know something I don't. Where did you learn that?
From your mom. Sometimes I'll be walking by her house and she'll come out and talk to me. Well, this time she came out and hit me with the big news.
Are you kidding me?
I hear that you both are even planning to get married already.
No, that's still on the table, but we're not sure what to do yet.
So this means he's at least engaged to you then? Being able to meet an all-round perfect man and then having him become your fiancé like that? I'm beginning to get way too jealous over something like that.
We still don't know if we really want to get married yet or not.
But you both have been talking about it, right?
And that's just everyone around me thinking that. We have talked about marriage, but we haven't done anything more with it, okay?
In other words, this means everyone around you finds him to be the perfect guy, and they all want you married to him.
I'm not sure about that. This was just supposed to be between him and I from the start, and we wanted to take things slowly when it came to our relationship. I might say no to marriage now if rumors like this keep getting worse and worse. I'm tired of people thinking that he's the one I must be with and I can't leave him at any time.
But come on now, he is a perfect man for any woman, so you have to say yes to marriage.
Emmy, you are starting to get on my nerves again with your annoying habits.
What?
I don't like it when you try to claim things about other people when they're not anything you need to know about. I will be the only one to talk about what I plan to do with him, and I don't want you spreading news that isn't real. And it's not even like we're engaged yet, as I haven't given him the answer to his proposal either. We're just boyfriend and girlfriend, and I want people thinking of our relationship that way for now.
But he'll soon become your fiancé, right? So who cares if we just say that you're both engaged?
There is still the chance that I say no to him, right?
But he is the perfect man for you, so there's no way you'd say no to him, right?
No, I could definitely say no to him if I want to.
That's so wonderful of you. I'm getting so jealous.
There is no use here. You just keep going back to the same thing no matter how I try and explain things. It's like one big stupid loop with you. My head is starting to hurt now after this, so I'm going to go now.
What? But I just learned about how you're engaged to the perfect man now.
I told you, he's not my fiancé. I'm asking you to please stop thinking about him and I, all right? I don't want you getting any more wrong ideas about things. Bye now.
Jill, I was able to learn even more about your fiancé than you were willing to tell me.
What? Wait. You're still going on about something I told you not to?
Well, you were keeping all the gossip to yourself, so I had no choice but to go snooping for all the goodies. But of course, all I had to do was go and ask your mom about it.
What? Again with my mom? I've told you before not to listen to what my mom says to you, right?
I learned from her that your fiancé happens to be Eric, and he is 40 years old. And he happens to be in charge of a rather decent-sized company. Your mom even let me see a picture of him, but man, is he one hot-looking guy. I'm so jealous of you, Jill. You make me want to just come over to your house, put on your clothes, and act as though I'm in your shoes.
I told him no. I told him no after he asked for my hand. So he's not my fiancé in any shape or form.
Again with this, I see. I understand it can be a little intimidating to be with a man who is much older than you are, but after seeing that face and body of his, there's no way any woman could say no. I already know that you never said no to him and that you both are tightly engaged now.
You have no frickin' clue what's going on, do you? I told you I said no to him, so that's it. He is not my fiancé, and he barely has anything to do with me now. No matter what anyone else has to say about it, I said no to him. N-O.
But in reality,
I've had enough of your BS, Emmy.
Jill, listen to this. Listen to this. I just got pregnant with Eric's kid.
Huh?
4 months ago, whenever I'd try and get more gossip from you about Eric, you always tried so hard to hide the fact that you were engaged to him and everything. Well, I knew it had to do with you fearing that I might come and steal him from you, so you tried your very best to hide all the details. So in order to make your fears a reality, I went ahead and stole him from you.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I went to his office building and waited outside for the moment he'd walk out and called for him. I introduced myself to him as one of your old friends. And once I did that, I already had him in my hands. So from there, he invited me to go out with him to a bar in town, and after getting him absolutely hammered, I took him to a hotel room with me. And I'm sure you can guess what the two of us did there, right? When thinking of the time all this took place, this kid has to be his. So thanks to you never telling me a thing about you and him, I was able to go out myself and find him so that I could be the one to carry his kid. Thank you.
Is that right? Well, congratulations then, Emmy.
You're trying to act all tough about this now, aren't you? Right as you hit the jackpot with him and were finally engaged, I came along and stole him. I know that deep down you're wanting to bawl your eyes out and cry into the sky, right? Really, this is a feeling that I've been wanting to have for so long now, but could never figure out how to get here.
A feeling you've wanted to have?
Oh, so you never noticed anything about me then, did you?
What are you talking about?
Back when we were both in high school, you were going out with that guy, Finn, right? I really had this huge crush on him then.
Huh?
Yet you came out of nowhere and asked him out right in front of me. Do you have any idea how badly you made me feel back then? Well, me coming in from behind you and stealing your fiancé from you is my revenge for what happened to me years ago. And what makes this even better is the jackpot is now mine. All of that happiness you had thinking that Eric was yours is all going to be mine now.
Who is this Finn guy?
So you're just going to keep playing dumb around me? I'm talking about the Finn who was in the same grade as you in high school. You both would always walk home together after school, holding hands and all that.
For my last 4 years of schooling, high school, I was going to an all-girls Catholic school.
Huh?
I must have never told you about the school I was transferring to back in middle school then, huh?
But you went to Davidson High.
The school I went to was Davidson Catholic High School for young women.
Huh? What?
Don't you remember that when you and I exited middle school, I told you that my family was moving to a new house outside Davidson, right? And, well, when we moved out there, I was wanting to play volleyball during my time in high school. The Catholic school happened to have a really good volleyball team, and since I didn't really have too many friends from back in middle school, I decided to go to a different high school than the rest of you. And after starting to go there, you and I never really talked to one another again, because we weren't that close of friends. So, what's this about you getting me mixed up with someone else you remember from high school when I was never even there? Also, is this you once again causing trouble due to some kind of misunderstanding? I remember back in middle school something very similar to this happened. There was that really popular guy in one of our classes, a grade above you and you happened to think you were dating him for some reason. He already had a girlfriend though, and when she found out you kept saying to everyone you were his girlfriend, she started to really hate your guts, right?
That was just a small screw-up then.
Had that guy not stepped in and started telling you that he didn't even know who you were, things would have only gotten worse between you and his actual girlfriend. I guess you never really learned from that situation then, huh?
But
Well, I happen to not really have anything to do with you anymore. But I will say that I am thankful that you got rid of Eric for me. So, there you go.
Huh? Why are you thanking me? Why are you thanking me for stealing your fiancé from you?
I've been going out with this other man ever since I was in college with him.
Wait, what?
But my parents always said to me that if I wasn't going out with someone who was making the same amount of money my dad makes and who couldn't care for them financially in their later years, they wouldn't let me marry him. If he wasn't from a university, then it was a no. If he didn't have his own company, then it was a no. He had to be making at least $200,000 a year or it was a no. Because of all those things they kept telling me, I could never get them to accept my boyfriend. So I went straight ahead and used Eric as a way of hiding my real relationship from my parents so they'd think I was actually dating Eric.
But a man like Eric is actually a lot better than whatever boyfriend you're telling me about.
I told you that I already have a man that I'm in love with and have been for years now. Well, when Eric accidentally asked me for my hand in marriage, my parents went ahead and told him okay without ever getting my take on it. Since then, everyone in my family has been going on about how I'm going to be getting married to Eric, and it's been a real pain in the butt for me. But then about 2 weeks after that, something happened. I was told by Eric that he no longer wanted to marry me and said that we were no longer engaged.
2 weeks ago?
This was 2 weeks after he had thought I said yes to him about marriage. He said something about how he had another woman who would be bearing his child, and that child would be the next in line to take over his company.
Could that woman possibly be you, Emmy? Well, yeah, the timing all lines up, actually. He told me he wanted to have a baby with me when he was drunk.
I see now. He was so hell-bent on getting married to me after my parents said okay to his proposal, but then out of nowhere, he told me that things were off and that we'd break up. I was so confused about what had happened to him because he had put so much effort into trying to forcefully marry me after I told him no so many times. But now I can see what the answer was to all of that.
So, in other words, what you're saying is I didn't steal your fiancé from you?
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying now.
Well, this is a little bit boring of an ending to all I had planned for. Well, whatever, I guess. Your boyfriend only ended up graduating from a small-town college with you, right? That means when comparing both of our men side by side, my Eric is far superior to your boyfriend. And now I'm going to be the one becoming the wife of a CEO. I still came out on top in all of this. And you'd better not start crying for me to give Eric back to you, okay?
I'm never asking for him back. I told you already that I'm really thankful you took him off my hands. I hope you both are happy now.
Yahoo! Jill! You never told me any of this. You're the worst.
What is it now?
Eric! He's not the man I thought he was. Why didn't you tell me he had already been married before and has 3 daughters living with him now? I never heard about any of this from you or anyone.
What, you never knew about any of that?
I never knew I'd need to hear about something like this.
So then this means you don't know what happened to his other wives? There was some domestic violence issues with his mother and them.
Huh?
You never knew about the reasons why they were forced to divorce him in the end? It had to do with his family wanting his wife to bear a son for him so that the son could then get the family company next. But they always gave him daughters, and so his mom and him both forced them out of the family.
Huh?
But when it came to the kids, he couldn't just kick them out because that's just inhumane. So he decided to keep them and get full custody of the kids in order to have tax write-offs and such. You never knew about a single one of these things?
Why did you never tell me any of this before?
Well, I thought you knew all of this already because you went so far out of your way to steal him from me in order to get the revenge you'd been wanting, even though I'm the complete wrong person.
I'm not marrying him now.
What?
I don't care how much of a jackpot he is. The fact that he's had wives before me and has 3 kids already? This is not a joke. I'm going to find myself a much younger man who is still making loads of money to marry.
Really? But I thought you already handed in marriage papers and everything to the courthouse.
Huh?
My mom had called me the other day making fun of me for losing such a perfect man to someone else and never marrying him. And while she was making fun of me, she said that he had gotten married already and was at the courthouse handing in the paperwork.
No way!
Do you not remember ever signing those papers with him?
So you do remember signing those marriage papers then. Well then, you're not going to be able to get out of that marriage as easy as you think. What should I be doing here? About what? What should I be doing right now about all of this? Well, if you want to get a divorce, the only thing you can do is go and talk to him about it. But just remember that he's probably not going to be on the same page as you when you bring that up to him. Why not? Well, my mom told me that the baby you're carrying right now happens to be a boy, right? You went and had the doctor tell you that during your last checkup. That's what Eric's been wanting all along, so I don't think he's going to let you get away from him that easily. Crap. No. Jill, please. Come and help me get out of this. That's not going to happen. Why not? I'm going to come over to your house for the time being. No, you won't. My boyfriend happened to have a job transfer, and in order to be with him, we both moved away. What? I ended up quitting my job at the company I'd been working for so long and found myself a new job here by the new house. And as for my parents, who ended up using the money that Eric gave me for calling off our engagement, they both used it all up, so I left them and cut ties to the both of them. So please, just leave me and my boyfriend alone now. You won't be able to learn anything from my mom about me now. Wait, the fact that only you get to be happy after all of this isn't fair. You and I have been longtime friends, right? And you should be coming to help me out of this mess. Can you give me a good reason as to why I should come out there and help you? So, you're not going to help me then? Bye-bye. What the hell? No way, Jill, please. In the end, Emmy wasn't able to get the divorce she wanted and had to go through with having the baby while married to Eric. And just as the doctor had told her, it was a boy. But when they brought the baby boy home, Emmy's mother-in-law immediately took him away from her so that she could raise the baby. And in exchange for her baby, she was given the 3 daughters of Eric to raise, with no support coming from the rest of the family. Even with her mother-in-law looking after the baby boy now, this didn't put an end to all the harassment she gave Emmy. And when it came to all the money that Emmy thought she'd be getting to spend from Eric, that all went right to his mom so that she could have free reign over all the income. What makes all of this even worse for Emmy is that Eric wasn't even on her side in any of this, as he's a major mama's boy and would never do anything to go against his mom. And if all this wasn't bad enough for her, not even her own parents were going to help her get any divorce, as they said it would give Emmy a bad name. So Emmy really was left with no way out of things in Eric's family. Even now, she has no way of getting off their property, as it's all fenced in completely with alarms on all the gates, and she's never even asked to leave the house. I think this is a fitting end for her, as she had always been so jealous of Eric and the life that he would let her live.
Hey, Colt. You're coming into work tomorrow, right? Hi, Erin. I hope things at work are going well. And thank you for letting me take the day off today to come to my mum's funeral. It was also very nice to see you come along as well to mourn her with me. I don't need any of your thanks for that. You're coming into work tomorrow, right? I'd like to say otherwise, actually. I told you you could have the days off leading up to the funeral and the day of. But you're not able to take any more time after that, alright? I thought I already told you this once before. But I still happen to have another day of PTO that I can use, and I plan to use it tomorrow, if you won't let me take the day off that HR gave me. Actually, from what HR has told me, I get 7 days off in the case that an immediate relative passes, which would mean I still have 2 days off of that left as well, so please let me have that time to mourn the loss of my mum. Also, this is a bit embarrassing for me to say, but there are some things going on back here at my house that are making it hard for me to come into work. Nothing bad, but they've just had me tied up as well, and having tomorrow off will help me deal with all that as well. Is that right? Well, I guess since you've had so much going on in your life recently, I can't be a very kind boss. But know that this will only ever be happening once. Only this time. I'll let you take tomorrow off. Thank you very much. But that means, for the rest of this year, you're not to take any more days off for anything else. You hear me? No sick days, no use of your PTO, nothing. On the holidays, I expect you to be on your computer at home, getting work done.
Colt, Have you still not gotten out of work yet? It's been so long since the last time you actually came home for dinner, right?
Hi, Samantha. I'm sorry, but I won't be getting home until around 12 or so tonight. So go ahead and just put my dinner in the fridge if you haven't already, and I can eat it for breakfast tomorrow.
I see.
I'm only just finishing up my work now, and then I'll be out of here for the night, so you can go ahead and head to bed. You have to take care of your health too.
Thank you. But I can understand that you had to take some time off work for some things you couldn't control, but the fact that you're being made to stay super late every day now is a bit off. You feel the same way, right? Other coworkers of yours have had to take weeks off at a time, but when they get back to work, they aren't forced to work late all the time, right?
There are plenty of people here who have had to take time off out of nowhere like me, but they haven't had to come back to life at work like I have. I feel that there is something really off about all this. Having to stay in the office every night after everyone else has already gone home and gone to bed.
Do you think this has to do with your CEO, Aaron?
What?
I feel like he might have something against you, and this last time where you had to take off all that time might have sent him overboard. I understand that this time you had to tell work that you needed time off last second, but that's not something you could control, right? And in this case, your CEO should have been able to get other coworkers to cover for you while you were out of the office.
Well, yeah. To be honest with you, he let them all continue on with their work without ever having anyone take over for me while I was gone.
I knew it. I know that he ended up coming to your mom's funeral as well as a show of kindness to you. But I thought he would have been kind enough to treat you with some respect while you were out of the office mourning her. Ugh. Even the way he was talking to you at the funeral got me all fired up. I'm not the only one who was upset with him, right?
So you think he's doing all of this on purpose?
Of course he is. I'm not trying to say anything bad about the company you're working for, but for the past 2 years, ever since Aaron became your CEO, things have gone downhill for you.
I see. Taking a step back to look at it myself, I can see that things have not been all right.
I get that he might have issues with managing his stress and anger, but that does not give him any right to talk to you like that at your own mother's funeral. He even got your older sister to shut up about what would happen with all your mom's money and things like that, due to how much of a jerk he was being. I'm sorry, Colt, but you're going to have to prepare yourself to do something about Aaron and his behavior towards you. And I'll make sure to help you out with him.
Thank you. I would have never really been able to see that there was something seriously messed up going on here if it wasn't for you always looking out for me.
Hey, have you started to think about what we talked about before?
What?
You heard about it from my dad, right?
Ah, right.
My dad really loves you a lot. I think you should just give up working for a CEO like that who doesn't seem to care for you at all and only wants to see you suffer. It's all a waste of your time and energy working there, so you should really put some thought into moving on.
That's a good point. I'm thankful that your dad told me about that. I can't give an answer to all that just yet, but I'm going to start putting some serious thought into it.
Yes, please.
All right, I'm heading out to my car now, okay?
Okay, have a safe drive home.
Seem to be really busy lately, Cole. Nah, that's right. Maybe you weren't 100% back to yourself quite yet, after seeing that your mom kicked the can. That's why you haven't been able to work well enough here, and always end up having to stay late. Right. You're a mom's boy, right? Hello, Aaron. The reason that I've been having to stay late so often is because for some reason my workload has increased exponentially. This has nothing to do with me being inefficient or anything. Also, when it comes to the woman that put all her effort into raising me, would you please not say things like that? It is neither professional of you to do that, nor is it okay with me personally. Yeah, I'm not trying to talk poorly of her or anything. Just that, because of her, I was able to work some things out with another person, and I'm wondering if you've noticed any of that yet. What are you talking about? Well, in due time you'll find out. For right now, though, you're going to be the man I say you are as your CEO. And I say that you're going to love working 14-hour days for a very long time here. Hey, Colt. I have some very good news for you. Hi, Aaron. What kind of good news could you have for me? Well, actually, it might be some very disturbing news for you. Did something bad happen? I noticed you still haven't caught on to it yet, so I'm going to tell it to you straight. Right now, your wife is pregnant with my child. Excuse me? Well, it's been about 3 months now since then. What are you going on about? 2 months ago, I told you there was someone else I met at the funeral, right? One other person. You happen to be so concerned with your mother since you're a mama's boy that you took your eyes off someone else for too long. So you're saying that I wasn't paying any attention to my wife then? That's right. To put it straight, back when I was at that old hag's funeral, I had my way with your wife and did her pretty dang dirty. So I'm thinking that she's pregnant with my baby now. What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you so relaxed right now? I see. Maybe this is all too unbelievable for you. You never once thought in your life that your CEO would be able to sleep with your wife. Well, no matter how unbelievable you think all this is, you're not going to be able to change reality. By the way, Colt, back when my father was the CEO of this company, you're always so close to him that it really pissed me off. I've always been looking for the perfect chance to get you back for making my blood boil like that. And that funeral for your old hag was the perfect chance I needed. So that now means Rachel is my woman. Rachel is? Yeah, your wife, Rachel. When I told her I was your CEO, she fell right into my arms. And man, was she wanting me so badly. Still does, too. When was the last time you met with Rachel? We were just together a second ago. Is that right? Well, I want to get to the bottom of all this, so give me some time to talk around. Go right ahead. Thank you for waiting, Aaron. I was able to get to the bottom of all this. You were? Perfect. Took you 2 whole hours to do that, though. I'm sure she told you the truth right away, but too much for you to believe, right? But you were able to see that she's pregnant with my baby now, right? You're gonna be okay with paying settlement, right? Sure thing. I'll pay up. I'll be paying you Rachel's part too, so you don't have to be worried about her. I happen to be a CEO after all, so I have all the money in this company at my disposal. Then I'll let her know about this. Make it quick, please, as that's what her husband wanted me to do. He was the one that asked me to talk with you about this after all. Huh? Rachel's husband? You're Rachel's husband, right? What's happened to you? For some reason, I believe that you have had a huge misunderstanding this whole time, but Rachel appears to be my sister. My older sister. Your sister? Also, my wife happens to be 8 months pregnant now. And 2 months ago, she went back to her parents' house to have the baby. What? I'm sure by the way my sister was dressed and talking with me, you must have assumed that she was my wife, rather than my sibling. Are you kidding me? But now I'll see what's been going on here. The reason that my sister finally shut up about the money that my mum was leaving behind was because of you. She was going on about your mum's money? Let me just say that my family was never that well off, so it's not that much money to be honest. My daddy passed away a few years ago, happened to be a basic office worker, so he didn't make all that much. And ever since then, my mum has just been living off her social security. Well, it seems that my sister was a little confused about that back then. Oh. Now, let's get back on topic here. To be honest, my sister has been really bad with her credit card, meaning she's had to borrow lots of money in the past from rather sketchy sources in order to pay her cards off. She's been borrowing money? And well, she's been working really hard to find ways to pay that money back to the people she borrowed it from. What kind of money was she borrowing? Well, in the past, she was paying for male strippers and owed around $20,000 to them. She owed $20,000 to male strippers. Well, she wanted to get that money to pay back all that debt of hers off, and that's why at the funeral she's making such a big fuss about my mum's money. But I knew that talking to her about our inheritance is going to be a tough challenge, so I prepared myself for it. But however, right as she was starting to become a real headache for me, she heard about you. And you started talking to her. She must have been so happy to have found herself an ATM. No longer cared about my mum's money, or my mum herself. Towards the end of the funeral, she told me I could have all my mum's money, and then she took off with you. What the hell? ATM? Ah, that's right, Erin. I think my sister still has some debts left over to pay. Maybe some new ones. What did you say? Oh, from what I could understand the last time I talked to her, she has around $40,000 now that she owes. $40,000? And after today, she's also going to be owing her husband money in the settlement. With both you and her owing him money in settlements, it'll come out to around $100,000 that he'll receive from you both. Hold on a sec. I don't want Rachel anymore. You don't? I never thought of her as that kind of monster. I don't want to be her husband anymore, so go and tell her husband he can have her back. What are you going on about now, Erin? You're not able to just get out of this situation that you created for yourself that easily. Why can't I? Is my older sister not pregnant with the baby of a CEO right now? Ah, crap. Are you freaking kidding me? And one other thing. Since I'm already talking with you right now, I've one other thing I'd like to tell you about. What? Due to the fact that my father-in-law will be resigning from his position as CEO, he's asked me to come and take his place. So later this month, I'll be leaving my position in your company and taking a much better job. What? I'm so sorry I wasn't able to put in my 2 weeks, but considering I've been having a lot of troubles working for you so far, it's only fair that I leave sooner rather than later. I have my new secretary get in touch with you about me quitting. Wait a sec. I'll have the official notice of me leaving at your office in a few days, so you can wait until then. I told you to hold it for 1 second. Have you forgotten that without you in my company, there will be things that will end up not getting done? There's a manual on what needs to be done by someone in my position, so take a look at that. This is not about any of that. What the hell am I going to do about Rachel? You are her little brother, so do something about all her debt. But my older sister happens to hate me a lot, so I'm not going to help her with any of that. Huh? I'm far too serious of a man for her. She always makes fun of me for it while also telling me that she wishes I was never her brother. And the only reason she was at my mum's funeral to begin with is because of the money my mum left behind. But hold on. Now I have to start packing for the move, so I'm going. Wait, hey Colt, you stay right there. And with that, before things began to become too crazy with Erin, I turned off my phone and went off to my wife's parents' house. I took all my things with me and I'm moving in with her parents now as well, so that I can be closer to my father-in-law while he teaches me what it means to be a CEO. When it comes to my older sister's husband, he was able to get money from both her and Erin before divorcing her and running off. At the same time, her and Erin broke up. And a few months after that, my sister became a single mother, giving birth to a baby boy. But she needed to get a job. Since she still had so much debt to pay off, my family thought she would be a terrible person for a baby to be around. So a little after giving birth, some of my family went to her house and took the baby from her. For the time being, the baby will be in the hands of someone besides the mother. As for Erin, a much better company than his started up in town, and a lot of the employees left his company and started to work there. Because of that, the workload increased even further for anyone that did stay, and soon they all left as well. Which then led to the collapse of Erin and his company for good. As of right now, in order to pay the banks back, he's working from morning until night at some factory, making as much money as he possibly can.
Do you have no sense of shame at all? Just what do you think you're doing here, Tony?
Huh? What's going on, Valerie? I have no idea why you'd suddenly send me such an aggressive text like that. It's my dad's visitation, right? And the funeral is tomorrow, so I'm not sure what exactly you think is shameless about a son going to his own father's visitation.
Oh, sure. Now you're the loyal and devoted son, are you? Maybe you should have shown your father a little more respect when he was alive. You never came around to visit him, so what makes you think you have any right to pretend like you care about him now?
Never is a bit strong, though I will admit that I haven't been able to get back home as much as I'd like. I presume you're also aware that I didn't have the best of relationships with my father.
Oh yeah, I've heard all about the two of you.
I thought so. My relatives were also well aware of the circumstance surrounding my relationship with my father, and for the record, I've met with my father plenty of times over the years. It just so happened that I mostly saw him at the homes of our relatives who live nearby. Despite the difficulties between us, it's not as if we had cut each other out of our respective lives. And since the visitation and the funeral are, in some sense, a sort of family reunion, I'd say there's no problem at all with me coming here today.
Ugh, you're unbelievable. Like, seriously? This is super gross. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Valerie, but you're going to have to be a bit more specific. What exactly am I doing that's so gross?
Don't think I don't know. It's clear to everyone around you exactly why you're here right now.
And that would be?
Let me put this in the most delicate way I can. A broke high school dropout like you has no right to come to your father's funeral. Do I make myself clear?
Actually, no. I don't really see why being broke or a high school dropout would preclude me from coming to my father's funeral. Care to elaborate?
Do I have to spell it out for you? You're broke. You're a high school dropout. You're just here for money.
Money?
Yes, that's the only reason you bothered to come to the funeral.
You're still not making any sense.
I know that you're desperate to get your share of your dad's inheritance, but guess what? You're not getting any. So get out. There's nothing for you here.
Inheritance? Did you by any chance find my dad's will?
What will?
Yeah, my point exactly. My brother and family told me that my dad passed away quite suddenly and hadn't had the opportunity to put together a will. As such, his inheritance will be split up according to the laws of our state. In other words, how my dad's estate is divided up between his heirs isn't something that I have any power at all to affect. It'll all be carried out automatically by the city government.
If you're trying to confuse me with all that legal jargon, it's not going to work.
All of that was layman's terms. I'm not sure which part you think was jargon.
That's so like a high school dropout. They always use big words they don't understand to sound smarter than they are.
Anyway, I'm planning to be in town until my dad's funeral is over.
Oh yeah? I might just have to have a little chat with your brother about this then.
By all means, go ahead. I've already talked to him and he said I was welcome to come. Conversely, if I were to be absent from the funeral after coming to the visitation tonight, I think that might disturb several of my relatives who are expecting me to come.
Whatever. Fine, but you need to get out of town immediately, after the funeral is over tomorrow, got it? That's what you get?
Valerie, would you mind explaining why you just dumped a bucket of water all over me?
I may have let you come to the funeral, but a high school dropout has no right to sit in front with the family. You can sit in the back.
You seem like you wouldn't be happy no matter where I sat.
Well, duh. Besides, the visitation is over, and now the funeral is over, so you've got no more reason to stick around. Hurry up and get out of town like I told you to.
As you wish. You can take care of things from here.
And don't you ever show your face around here again.
Tony, I'm so sorry. Hey, Ellen. Thanks for taking care of the funeral today. It was lovely. Where are you right now? In a hotel across the street from the airport. I was planning to stay the night here, so I already had a reservation. My flight isn't until the morning, so I'm just kind of killing time until then. But what's up? Why are you apologising to me all of a sudden? When I heard what happened, I had to apologise. During the funeral service, I looked around and noticed you weren't in your seat anymore. My wife told me that you'd gotten sick and went to the emergency room, and I completely believed her at first. But then at lunch, I was talking to some of our family about you, and they said that Valerie had dumped a bucket of water on you and kicked you out of the church. I'm so sorry it took me so long to realise what had happened. Don't worry about it, Alan. You've got nothing to apologise for. You had more than enough on your plate already with handling all the funeral arrangements. Be that as it may, I still need to take responsibility for what my wife did to you. Again, Tony, I'm so sorry for what happened. Oh, thanks for that, Ellen. Like I said, I don't hold you responsible at all, but it's big of you to come and apologise to me like this. Although I have to say, there's something Valerie said that has me concerned. What did she say? She told me she thought the only reason I came to the funeral was to get my hands on Dad's inheritance. What? I bet that's a big part of the reason why she dumped water on me and kicked me out of the church. What the? How did she get that idea in her head? You're not even Dad's legal heir. Yeah, I was just as confused as you are. I don't know. I guess it would make sense that she didn't know all the details since she only married into the family. But no matter what I said, she refused to listen. She was so upset and excited about the whole thing that I was never able to give her a proper explanation. I'll see. But in any case, as long as Valerie is angry at me, it seems like my presence there would only cause more trouble than I've already caused. I know it's only been a short time since Dad died, and I hate to force this on you in such a difficult time, but is it alright if I leave everything from here on out to you? Yeah, it's no trouble at all. Leave everything to me. I'm sorry about everything that happened, really, I am. I'll contact you again once things settle down over here. Gotcha. Thanks again, Alan. Talk to you later.
I don't believe you, Tony. What are you doing back in town? I told you to stay away.
Not that it's any of your concern, but I was visiting some old friends of mine.
Liar! You're still after your dad's inheritance, aren't you?
I suppose this has something to do with the fact that there's a meeting with the city about Dad's inheritance today.
Obviously.
Well, I know you have all sorts of things you'd like to say to me right now, but let me save both of us a lot of time. I'm meeting with my friends, and then immediately heading back home.
What?
Valerie, I was trying to tell you back at my dad's funeral, but you're under a huge misunderstanding. Regardless of what you may think, I'm not actually one of my dad's legal heirs.
Wait, you're not?
I think you're aware that while I call Alan my brother, we're technically just stepbrothers, right?
Yeah, I knew that.
Right. So Alan is our dad's son, and I'm our mum's son. So when our parents married, both of us were already adults and had our own established lives. So since there was no need for financial support, I was never legally adopted by my dad. What this means legally, in the same way my brother wasn't entitled to any of my mum's estate when she passed away a few years ago, I'm not entitled to any of my father's estate right now. We were both fully aware of that from the very beginning. And since I have no rights to receive any of my dad's estate, there's no point in me attending the meeting with the city today.
You're not fooling me. You're probably gonna camp out in front of City Hall to beg for money from your brother once the meeting is over.
Why would I do a thing like that? I'm not really hurting financially or anything.
Liar!
I started up a company with a friend of mine 3 years ago, and I'm currently serving as vice president of that company.
Vice president?
I'm not one to toot my own horn, but our company's doing pretty well. I think it's fair to say that I'm in a pretty high income bracket for people my age.
Whoa! That's... really? But how? You dropped out of high school. The only reason you would do that is if you were super dumb. How did someone like you become the vice president of a successful company?
I'd say that's a pretty ignorant view of high school dropouts.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I just got to my friend's house, so I'll be taking my leave here if you don't mind.
Tony, this is your doing, isn't it?
What's the matter, Valerie?
Where are you right now?
In the airport, about to board my plane. Why?
Get back here right now.
Hate to disappoint you, but I'm afraid I can't do that. I've got work tomorrow morning. If I miss this flight, I won't be able to get to the office on time.
Your job isn't what's important right now. My future is what's important. At this rate, I'm gonna be divorced before I get my share of your dad's estate.
Ah, I see.
Is that all you have to say?
If I'm not mistaken, my brother told you he's going to divorce you right before the meeting with the city started, right?
Yes. Now that you know what's going on, hurry up and get your butt over to City Hall right now and fix what you did.
Fix what exactly?
Stop playing innocent. You high school dropouts are all the same. You always use dirty tactics to get what you want. What did you say to my husband? Whatever you said, it got my husband to divorce me. I'm gonna lose my share of his inheritance.
Oh, well, Valerie, I'm afraid to say that you're once again drastically misunderstanding the situation.
How?
Ordinarily, this is a conversation that would be best to have in person, but in your case, I think writing it all out via text will help you understand.
Just spit it out already. What did you do?
I'll explain it step by step, so make sure you read each message thoroughly before moving on to the next one. First of all, about the inheritance. As I mentioned before, my deceased father's only legal heir is my brother, Alan. If my mother was still alive, then she would also be a legal heir as his wife. But she passed away a few years ago. So again, the only legal heir is my brother, Alan.
Aren't you forgetting someone? What about me?
No, I wasn't forgetting anyone. My brother is the only legal heir.
What?
Let me explain this in the absolute simplest possible terms. According to local, state and federal law, daughters and sons-in-law are not considered to be legal heirs with inheritance rights.
Wait, really?
Name the event you're adopted as their legal child or written into their will as an heir, then yeah, you would be a legal heir with inheritance rights. But as far as I'm aware, that didn't happen in your case, so once again, the only legal heir is my brother.
Then why did he divorce me? If I was never gonna get any of the money, then what's the point in divorcing me?
I believe that my brother's divorcing you for reasons that have nothing to do with the inheritance.
Then why?
Speak of the devil. Looks like Alan is trying to call me right now.
Alan? Really?
I'm sorry, but if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take this call. I'll message you when I'm finished. Sorry to keep you waiting, Val. According to my brother, as soon as he told you he was divorcing her, you ran away and locked yourself in your room before he had a chance to give you an explanation as to why. I suppose the reason you text me right now is most likely because you're convinced, for whatever reason, that I'm the one responsible. Correct?
You are responsible. I know it was you. You're just mad at me because you found out you wouldn't get any of your dad's inheritance.
Valerie, please. I wish you'd stop making such brash allegations against me. I already received my mother's inheritance several years ago when she passed away, and my brother is the only person with inheritance rights to our father's estate. Both of us have been well aware of this for quite some time now.
What inheritance? Your mother was so poor you had to drop out of high school to get a job and support her. What inheritance could she have possibly left you?
Well, you're correct about one thing. We definitely had financial difficulties in my childhood years.
I knew it.
However, it was only for my childhood years. After I graduated high school, my mother took an enormous risk and opened her own interior decoration store.
Really?
It's quite successful, and she left me a sizable inheritance when she passed. Actually, that store's now being run by my wife. My mother had been training her up in preparation to take over when she retired.
Oh.
So, as you should now be able to tell, I'm not quite in as hard of financial straits as you are at this point in time.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You're making it sound like I'm the one who's dirt poor.
I wouldn't make a claim like that without any justification. As I understand it, you have outstanding debts totaling $30,000.
How did you?
Then there's the matter of your infidelity.
My what?
Sorry, allow me to rephrase. My brother is divorcing her because of your affair.
Oh.
He only gave me a basic overview, so I'm a bit short on the specific details, but from what he said, he seems like he did his homework. You should operate on the assumption that he knows basically everything.
No way. I worked so hard to hide it from him.
It would seem that you left behind a trail of breadcrumbs which Alan picked up on. Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Wait.
I just heard the call to start boarding my plane, so I'll take my leave here.
But how did... I never thought I'd actually get caught.
Valerie resisted the divorce at first, but she suddenly became much more cooperative right after my brother officially received our father's assets. Come to find out, Valerie was under the false impression that she would be able to receive a share of the inheritance during the divorce proceedings. Her lawyer was burdened with breaking the news to her, but no, assets a spouse receives through inheritance are not subject to property division in the event of a divorce. This came as a terrible shock to Valerie, who had been intending to use that money to finally pay off her debts, as well as soften the blow of my brother's lawsuit against her for infidelity. Faced with this reality, Valerie stormed over to my brother's house and said that she was taking back her consent to the divorce, but it was already too late. The divorce had already been finalised. Not to mention my brother wasn't even at the house because he had already sold it and moved. After being abandoned by her husband, she tried to run back to the man she was cheating with, but he turned her away. She then went to her parents, who also turned her away. She's now living in a run-down subsidised apartment, working multiple part-time jobs and gradually chipping away at her multiple sources of debt while barely managing to scrape by.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.